Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to share with you today about a nonprofit here called Comfort Zone Camp and just the mini campaign I have planned for Comfort Zone Camp. So just the first little bit about Comfort Zone Camp. It's a nonprofit 501(c)(3) bereavement organization. Been around for over 20 plus years. It specifically is built for programs of children ages 7 to 17 and young adults ages 18 to 25 who've lost a loved one in their lives. These programs are built towards bringing healing in the lives of these children and young adults through team building exercises, through just confidence building, all these sorts of things, and ultimately the healing from the grief journey that they're going on. And the ultimate mission of Comfort Zone Camp is to empower grieving children to fully realize their capacity to heal, grow, and lead more fulfilling lives. And if you know anything about nonprofits across the world today, they all struggle to get male volunteers, and Comfort Zone Camp is no different. One of their biggest challenges right now is getting male volunteers, especially as they expand into new geographic regions in Utah, where they'll be having camps this summer. So part of our campaign that I'm putting together is a mini campaign to get more male volunteers out in Utah and just across Comfort Zone Camp in general. So we can see here first our primary target audience. This is going to be males ages 25 to 50 who are located in Utah, particularly in that Salt Lake City area. Both these camps in the summertime that are happening in August are right around that Salt Lake City area. We want to target professions who have careers in social work, who have careers in counseling, kind of health professions, maybe work with kids at elementary or middle schools, different things like that. Really look at that education. That likely will have a bachelor's degree or higher at this point with a steady income. Really want to see kind of these psychographics as well within our primary target audience of kind of family-oriented values, those that are built around their family. They have a deep sense of empathy and compassion. Maybe even this person has dealt with a loss themselves, or someone close to them has dealt with a loss where they kind of have this topic on their mind. And they're likely someone who has an active lifestyle. A lot of our camps have to do with outdoor activities, so that's always a great target as well. And really just this overall sense of being connected to the community, kind of community involvement within Salt Lake City, within kind of just their local area there as well. That's the primary target audience that we want to see with this mini campaign. There's also going to be this influencing target audience, the secondary audience we want to see. It's kind of the same sort of demographic, males ages 25 to 50, but really located all over the United States. Kind of, again, that college education, that steady income needed for volunteering with Comfort Zone Camp. Really what we want to see here in the psychographics is previous Comfort Zone Camp experience. So really maybe someone who's been a volunteer already with Comfort Zone Camp, or maybe someone who's been a camper before with Comfort Zone Camp, but never gone to the route of being a volunteer now. Really, we want to build this sense of loyalty. So those that are loyal to Comfort Zone Camp, they've kept in contact with Comfort Zone Camp over the years. They've seen the good that it's done for them. And then sort of those same other things that we talked about with our primary target audience: empathy, compassion, that active lifestyle that gets them out on their feet doing good, and really just a sense of community involvement as well, wanting to do good for the people around them, wanting to do good for their community. So really, Comfort Zone Camp, some of the key features, some of the key benefits that you'll find with this nonprofit that I think kind of separates it from some others. Really, even we talked about the motto. They're all about helping kids heal, grow, and lead more fulfilling lives. Those campers that walk away from this camp can undoubtedly say that they've experienced this, that they've grown, they've healed, and they're on the path towards leading that more fulfilling life. Comfort Zone Camp, all of the camps are free of charge for the kids to attend. That's a huge draw for this, is that it is never a financial kind of burden for the kids to come to these camps to get the healing that they need in their grief journey. And really, even a key benefit as well is with these volunteers, what they often are called big buddies. It's providing kids with individual mentors to kind of fill the gaps in their lives for that weekend, and then hopefully continuing that relationship after the weekend that they've been there at camp with that big buddy, with that volunteer who's making a difference in their lives. There's some key competitors across the U.S. You have Camp Aaron, As part of the Aluna network, you have the Doogie Center and then the Grief Recovery Institute. But we're friendly with all of these. This isn't something where we look at them as having to steal people away from them or anything like that. But just know that those are competitors that are out there kind of in this landscape. So really, I want to focus this campaign all in. As you know, any campaign, it needs to have that key consumer benefit that as we're putting this campaign out, what is the consumer, what is the target audience hopefully seeing throughout every individual piece of the campaign? And what we're showing is that volunteers can join a community of men to make a meaningful difference in the lives of a grieving child's healing journey. This is the whole part of what Comfort Zone Camp is about, but this is specifically to what the volunteer can bring, what a male volunteer can bring, joining that community, that tight-knit family feel to make a meaningful difference in the lives of a grieving child, and really seeing as they're making that difference, it's making a difference in them and helping them grow as well. So we're going to show that throughout our whole campaign. Really, our visual verbal kind of messaging strategy relies on kind of that rational and emotional appeal, both working together, kind of finding the good middle ground there where we're having those emotional appeals, where we're appealing to show that this is something where these kids need our help, where this is something where you can make a huge difference in their lives, but also it's that rational, logical mind of that the Comfort Zone Camp literally can't do their mission without the help of these volunteers. So showing that rational appeal, showing that logical appeal, and the emotional appeal, merging them together to show the best of both sides with that. Some key words we kind of want to highlight throughout this campaign. The community aspect, like we talked about, Comfort Zone Camp is a big community. It's a big family-like atmosphere. We want to highlight that throughout our campaign. Just making a difference, that this isn't just something that they're going to go and do for a weekend, these volunteers, but they have truly made a difference and they're going to want to come back and do it again. We truly do see great retention within our volunteers, so want to show that to our new volunteers. And just the growth. I mean, we talked about it, how the growth is a huge part of our motto for the kids, but also want to show throughout this campaign that the growth is going to happen in the volunteers as well, that they may even receive some healing themselves, even if they haven't lost a loved one before. They just may receive some personal healing from just walking out and being in what we call the Comfort Zone Camp bubble. You even see Comfort Zone Camp has these unique red, blue, and green colors that we're going to incorporate throughout the whole campaign, that people will associate that brand throughout our entire campaign. So really excited for kind of the visual verbal mix that we'll be able to show. The first kind of promotional item that we have is throughout our shared media, we really want to show a day in the life of a volunteer at Comfort Zone Camp. We want to show the fun moments, show kind of some of those emotional moments, drawing those emotional appeals, showing the rewarding moments that they'll have in a full weekend at a camp volunteering with Comfort Zone Camp. So we're going to create this first off and put this on Instagram and one of our reels. Instagram reels have great reach out there. But also we want to make this a multi-platform approach. So we'll start it on Instagram. We'll also kind of cultivate it towards the dimensions for Facebook, and even kind of maybe even do it as an email blast that we can send out to some of our subscribers who are already on Comfort Zone Camp's email list. Also, promotion number 2, we want to do some internet marketing. Facebook and Instagram digital ads allow you to specifically target a specific audience based on where they're located, kind of gender, age range, their profession. So this is going to fall right in line with that target primary audience that we talked about. In Utah, we want to create a landing page for a link that's in kind of this digital ad that we're going to send out there. It's going to have obviously those keywords that we talked about. Here's just a mock-up that we have on the side here, showing we can see that keyword of community of men, making a difference right there. We want to add in success stories on this landing page where when people click on this page, they can go in and see the success stories of these male volunteers, see that pull-out quote that shows the difference that it's made not only in the lives of the children, but in their lives as well. See the growth that they've experienced as well. This is going to be a great kind of tactic for us to be able to see that. And then, like Comfort Zone Camp does all the time, we want to continue to cultivate partnerships, but continue to cultivate partnerships specifically in Utah. Reach out as much as we can to those charities, to those other kind of counseling clinics, health clinics, local elementary schools, whoever it is that we can think of to partner with that would fall in line with Comfort Zone Camp's mission, with our motto. Target those places specifically where The psychographics would be described where we would see kind of that other community feel, that tight-knit feel where people are going for community involvement in the Salt Lake City area. Look for those areas where we can kind of cultivate partnerships with other organizations, businesses, nonprofits, whoever it may be. And once we kind of get those connections rolling, send out all sorts of printed materials to them, create a brochure that we can send to them specifically about volunteering with Comfort Zone Camp, what that would look like. Send all these things out to them where they can see it begin to happen, where they can see printed out right in front of them, these handouts that they can give. Again, we have that landing page that we talked about. We have that video that we can point them to. It's all kind of coming together in the area of this partnerships here that we would cultivate with those in the Salt Lake City area. So here's kind of the timeline of how we would see all this happen. So it's May 1st right now. So we want to begin right away researching those potential partnerships, sending emails out, setting up phone calls right away. We have kind of the tactics built out for the digital ads. So we want to get them running on Facebook as soon as possible. Really want to evaluate them after a month to see how they're performing. If we need to adjust anything or if it's running completely smoothly, we can keep running with them. Coming up this weekend, we have a camp in Comfort Zone Camp has a camp in Palmyra, Virginia. This is the opportunity for us to shoot that video that we were talking about, get boots on the ground there to shoot the video of a male volunteer and show the day in the life of that volunteer, show the impact it has on him as well as on the kids that he's there with. We want to hopefully by May 10th, after about a week and a half, secure some of those partnerships, begin sending them those printed materials. And then about May 15th, so about halfway through the month of May, we want to release that day in the life video, begin, like we said, with it on our Instagram reel and begin to space it out over the other programs that we've built out that Comfort Zone Camp can begin to put out its reach there. So ultimately, at the end of this campaign, there's a few different evaluation metrics we can look at. Obviously, the output evaluation, we can see, were these different promotional tactics produced? Were they executed correctly? Did we actually get that collateral out there where people could begin to see where our primary target audience and our influencing target audience would begin to see this collateral, these tactics that we have out there? And then ultimately the outcomes that we want to see. Obviously, the KPIs on these different tactics, the reach, the different engagement pieces on our social media, just the click-through rate to our landing page. Did those sort of KPIs on these tactics show success? And then ultimately, like we said at the very beginning, our whole communication objectives were around increasing male volunteer signups. So did we see increased male volunteer signups for our Utah camps? And did we see increased male volunteer signups for Comfort Zone Camp in general? We want to see that on kind of a percentage increase. Obviously, before the Utah camps that begin in August, we want to begin to evaluate those and see. And then for Comfort Zone Camp in general, over the course of this next 6 months, over the course of this next 7 months, even to run through the 2023 calendar year, did we see that 20% increase in male volunteer signups as a result of the campaign that we're putting together here? So thank you for letting me share with you. I look forward to hearing any feedback, any questions you may have, and seeing how we can kind of work together to put this campaign into effect.